and Lynn Henkiel.
Hello.
Hi. And for this first session, we have 12 minutes each for each speaker. And I have a gentle reminder musical bell when we reach towards the end of the time limit.
Okay.
Good.
And our first speaker for the day is Nina Kalmund, who is an award-winning architect, award-winning speaker, executive coach, sought-after international speaker, inspiring people all over the world to be bolder, more innovative, and future-oriented, passionately believing that this is what our world needs. Looking forward to hearing you on the topic of leveraging change for growth and innovation. Now, turning the stage over to you, Nina.
Thank you very much. But thank you, first of all, for having me. I'm very happy to be with you all here today. Fantastic. And thank you foremost to Dr. Habina Rora for organizing this in Bangalore. Thank you very much. So leveraging change for growth and innovation. I love the topic of change. I feel that the fear of change is one of the most perfidious fears holding us back. Sometimes it is masked as the voice of reason, because who likes to admit to being scared of change? The truth is that the status quo gives us a sense of security, and change bears the risk of failure. The problem with failure is that we are so used to judging things in relation to an immediate outcome. Success, failure seems pretty straightforward. But what seems like a failure now might turn out as your biggest blessing years later. Maybe something you invested in didn't yield the result you had hoped for. So, a failure, right? But what if failure sets you on an unprecedented path to growth and innovation? Sometimes we have to throw ourselves into the cold water and just keep swimming, doing whatever it takes, not knowing what will come out of it. Being open enough to see the blessings that we can yield just anywhere. Giving yourself permission to change may very well be the foundation of your success. Not being afraid of change calls for courage above the standard norms. Courage is actually one of the 9 virtues closely linked to the notion of greatness. And greatness, isn't that what true success is all about? True success, same as greatness, is a holistic notion. Most often when different groups of people speak of success, it is confused with goal attainment. This is especially true for us entrepreneurs, where the subject of being successful is still closely linked to the success of the business itself, and therefore often limited to concepts of productivity or profit margins. But in today's ever more complex world, we cannot allow ourselves to put blinkers on and speak about success from this limited perspective. However important that financial part is, it is by far not the only element. In former times, you may have been excused for focusing solely on career success. You could be a bad person, have serious character flaws, be dishonest and unhealthy, and willing to forego deep and loving relationships with your spouse and your kids. And you were still seen as successful as long as those bills were rolling and your name was whispered in awe. Luckily, the universe never stops challenging us, and so true success today has an entirely new meaning. What has mainly changed is that true success, same as greatness, has become something you're striving towards much more than having attained. There's a new, more humble awareness that no matter where you're at, there's always a next level to reach, always more to learn, new ways to grow, and new areas to be innovative at. Concerning the outer world and its fast changing rules, just as much as concerning yourself and your ways of showing up in this world. Research has shown that it is 9 specific virtues that are closely linked to greatness. These virtues are honesty, responsibility, intelligence, excellence, courage, respect, vigilance, service, and unity. Wouldn't it be interesting to put these at the foundation of a success barometer, we would then not be able to speak of success without including evaluations on ethics, values, virtues, responsibility, and the notion of giving back. Success would then be less defined through your transactional feats than your transformational deeds. But success nowadays actually forces you to pay attention to seemingly more profane subjects as well. Fitness is one. Being aware of the fact that true success means making the most of your potential, and the idea that you constantly leverage change for growth. You cannot neglect your human condition and the fact that the health of your body and your brain have a huge influence on whether you're able to use their potential to the max or not. Thanks to quantum philosophy, we know today that we are simultaneously everything and nothing, pure potential. We are energy and information, but we can become anything that we want if we're able to leverage change for growth, innovation, and success. What we will be depends on what we either consciously or unconsciously create. Energy and information are never lost. Change and creation are an ongoing process. Evolution is nature's goal. Your own creations therefore either bring you closer to your goals or make you take a detour, all depending on the level of consciousness you bring to every detail in your life. Consciousness being the key word here. In fact, there are 3 levels we operate on: thoughts, mind, and consciousness. Thoughts being lowest, consciousness highest. Most people are stuck on a thought level. This is so hard. I don't want to change. Why can't it be easier? The world is doomed. But mental chatter won't bring you answers. If you really want to attain and sustain success in every area of your life, you need to start from a level of consciousness and make success, growth, and innovation part of who you are, part of your identity. The question you need to ask yourself over and over again, therefore, is, who do I need to be? Who do I need to become? Most people foremost think about what they want to have in order to be able to do what they want to do so that they can then finally be. But the real secret to life and success is that it actually works the other way around. You have to change your identity if you want to change your outcome. Jim Rohn explains it like this: if you want to have more, you have to become more. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to become better. If you improve, everything will improve for you. If you grow, your money will grow, your relationships, your health, your business, and every external effect will mirror that growth in equal correlation. So how does one become more? How does one grow? How does one seek positive change? Number 1, invest in your skills. A winner is someone who recognizes his talents, works his tail off to develop them into skills, and uses these skills to accomplish his goals, said Larry Bird. Number 2, invest in your creative pursuits. Number 3, invest in your mind. We all know the famous quote by Napoleon Hill: whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Number 4, invest in your body. Number 5, invest in your time. Mother Teresa said, yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. Number 6, invest in your goals. Number 7, invest in planning and scheduling your day. We all know that Benjamin Franklin said, By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Number 8, invest in your strengths. Focus on your work. Do what you're great at. Don't compare yourself to others or waste time criticizing the lives and work of others. Do what matters most to you and make a difference doing that, said Germany Kent. Number 9, invest in your network and environment. Number 10, invest in helping others. And as a bonus, number 11, invest in your solitude. Albert Camus said, in order to understand the world, one has to turn away from it on occasion. So who do you need to become in order to be able to do, so that then you can have and finally give? Remembering those 9 virtues of greatness, knowing that everything starts with the right intention, and believing that being challenged is another key to success, I dare ask you here today, who do you want to become? How will you leverage your change for growth and innovation? Remember, how you change is how you succeed. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was such a powerful and impactful speech, Nina.
Thank you.
About those 9 virtues of greatness, and about those 11 different aspects to invest in, and about embracing change and leveraging change towards growth and innovation. This has been like a very enriching.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes. Before we move over to Lynn for her speech, we have a special something for you, Nina, from Women Economic Forum. It is with great privilege that on behalf of Women Economic Forum 2020, that we would like to confer on you, Nina Kalmund, the award of Iconic Women Creating a Better World for All.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm very honored. Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next, we have Lynn. Lynn Henkel, who's going to be talking about the same topic, which is leveraging change for growth and innovation. Lynn is the Director, Innovation Ecosystems Enterprise Innovation Institute at Georgia Institute of Technology in Atlanta, Georgia. She has been involved in creating and implementing EI's innovative ecosystems development practices, aiding communities in developing that entrepreneurial base through research and education. What a stunning career profile, Lynn. Now turning the mic over to you on this virtual stage. It's all yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the invitation to contribute to this valuable information exchange. First of all, I want to say that first and foremost. Nina, you were inspirational. That was really great. I appreciate that. My career has been very, I guess, left-brained. So my background's in finance and business and engineering. And so I was looking at this and trying to think of what I could do to contribute to our viewers and something they could take away. So I came up with the idea of taking the problem-solving tools that we have, that we teach our entrepreneurs at the university and all over the world. Actually, I work with communities to help them become more entrepreneurial friendly. So I was looking at one of my tools that I have, and I thought I would just kind of modify that for personal growth and innovation. So this is something that you can apply to your decision making on a daily basis. We work with entrepreneurs, and a lot of this ideas, are for business. But there's no reason why you can't do that for your own life. And work, as I made a note to myself, work can be applied to your personal life too. So the first thing in growth and innovation is, why do you want to do this? Whatever the question is that's facing you, why do you want to solve this? Why do you want to do this? And the next thing is, okay, if you sign up to go ahead and attack this, whatever it is, you want to try to find a problem and solution fit. So you have a problem. So what is the best solution for that problem? And this is where you're going to learn how to grow, believe it or not, because you're going to have to go find evidence to prove that you can solve this problem. And you're going to step out of your box. You're going to step out of your comfort zone, and you're going to start looking at things a little differently and kind of go through and say, what are the pains and gains of this solution? Is this the right solution? What is the end result of what I want to do? How do I want to do this? And by going through this process, you are actually becoming more self-educated. And you don't even realize you're doing it until you come out the other end with your solution and kind of go, wow, I just learned so many things that I taught myself. And I think that's what's really important, is to be open-minded and to listen to what other people say and listen to the evidence. One of the things I really stick with is evidence is more important than opinion. So you have all these thoughts running around in your head. Oh, I have a problem. I know how to fix this. How can I go ahead and fix this? And the answer is not in here. The answer is out there. So you really have to focus on what the problem is and see what it is for other people as well. You're not the only person in the world who's got that situation. And the sooner you find out people who would benefit from your solving this problem, you have automatically discovered customers if you're doing that in your business. So I wanted to bring those ideas forward. And then what you do is you test it and make it measurable. So, you know, whatever the issue is that you're trying to do, and once again, I'm modifying this because this is really for entrepreneurs who are starting their companies and they've come up with this innovation. Well, how do we know it really works? How do we know that's really what the customer wants? You don't. You think it, but once again, it's everyone out there who's going to give you feedback, which you are going to be able to internalize and collectively come up with answers to a problem. And that's where I think that's where the magic happens. And you grow through the process and you don't even realize you're growing through the process until you come out the other end. Nothing in life is random. I just heard this in an earlier speech, and I loved the way she said that. It was, nothing in life is random. Things happen for a reason. So when you are challenged with something to solve or how to fix something, and this is a perfect, easy example of how to do that. I mean, you are only given what you can handle. So the trick is, how do you handle it? And how do you make it work for you? And once again, I'll just reiterate, you don't realize you're growing through the process until you come out the other end and you look back and go, oh, wow, I have changed. And I have become more innovative. And I've come up with a different solution of how to fix things. Now, you can apply that, like I said, to business. You can also apply it to how to create lunch for your kids when you're sick of making the same thing over and over and over again. So it applies to everything in life. One of the things I wanted to point out to you is a little bit about growth and innovation and personal growth and innovation. If you were to tell me I was going to be sitting here today being director of innovation ecosystems and working with entrepreneurs and helping them advance their companies, I would have laughed you out of the room. I came from a very, very small town in upstate New York. We had dairy farms and apple orchards. And I have 3 brothers, and I learned how to be a boy before I learned how to be a girl with brothers. So luckily my sister came along and I had somebody on my side. but I had to be innovative right there from the beginning to hold my own and be who I was going to be. When I graduated high school, I realized that the area did not have what I was looking for. I didn't know what I was looking for. I really did not know who I was going to be when I grew up. I ended up moving to Florida because my godmother lived there. And she said, come on down and talk to me for a little bit. And she only had boys. So she was looking for girl time. I worked as a secretary. I got a job right away. And I went to nights and evenings and weekend schools. And I ended up getting an undergraduate degree in finance. And I chose finance because I was terrible at it in school. It was the worst subject. Math and finance were just absolutely the worst subjects in school. The other thing I was terrible in was French. And my French teacher said, please, please do not pursue French. Whatever you do, I'll pass you this time, but don't pursue it as a career. So I made that promise to her. But I sat down one day and said, what am I going to do? And how am I going to accomplish what I want to accomplish on my own? And the answer was, you know, pick the topic that was the most difficult. If you can conquer that, you can conquer anything. So, and that's what I did. I got a degree in finance. I ended up working for IBM in finance, and I worked with research, and I did a lot of with technology research. And that I found I enjoyed it, but I was always fighting with the engineers because they kept telling me I was a bean counter. And I kept saying, well, I'm more than that. I really am more than that. And that by that time I started dating an engineer, and he was like, well, what are you going to do about it? And I said, I don't know. And I said, I'm really thinking of going back to school. And he says, why don't you? So once again, I ended up going back to nights and weekend school. I got a double master's in engineering and in business, and raised 2 stepkids. And once I got that degree, I hung it on the wall. And then I just turned around, and when the engineers came in and said you didn't understand, they stopped saying that because it was hanging on the wall. And then they discovered that I enjoyed working with technology companies and creative people. And so when the opportunity to go work for Georgia Tech at NASA arose, I couldn't pass it up, and it just took off from there. I had no idea how I was going to innovate myself. I really had no idea I was going to end up. So I would like to recommend that everybody embrace the turns, and the curves are there for a reason. The decision-making options are there for a reason. I took the bumpy road all the time. I took the most difficult road because it was a difficult road. And many times in my engineering classes, I was the only woman at that time in my engineering classes, and nobody wanted the girls because, nobody wanted the girl on their team because she had cooties, right? So, I went through that, and I hopefully have paved a road for young ladies to go down that road and not have it as hard as I had it. The other thing I will add to that is you have to have a great sense of humor. If you don't have a great sense of humor, you'll just drive yourself crazy. So I think that's about my speech. I wanted to add in, because I know I'm so business-like all the time, but there is a human being inside here somewhere.
Wow, what
I love
a
that. Thank you.
inspiring and impactful speech, Lynn.
Thank you.
And some takeaways for me as well, like from that speech, which I guess like I will surely cherish, is about embracing challenges, the curves and turns that life throws at you, and about growing through the process. And only when you come out the other end, you would know how you have changed for the better. And about staying open-minded, evidence-driven, listening, staying open to feedback and other perspectives, internalizing feedback, and all of these are something I will carry with me. What a memorable speech this was.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
We still have more time. Lynn, any closing statement, takeaway that you have before I move over to the special statement that we have from WEF 2020?
I work much better with questions and answers. I'm usually very animated with the audience, so this is a little different for me to be able to just kind of pontificate. It's an odd feeling for me because usually I work with people and I don't talk at them. So if you have questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Actually, I do, if I may. Is that okay?
Certainly.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
please, yes.
So what is your work right now focused on? Because it sounds so incredibly interesting, but I don't have a real sort of grasp on what you're doing in your everyday work.
Okay, so our job is economic development. And the institute that I'm in, it's specifically economic development for federal government, for state government, for private industry, for entrepreneurs. So there's about 150 of us in this umbrella of the Institute. And specifically my organization, we're a little creative compared to ones. I work with communities to help them become more entrepreneurial friendly. Okay. So I work with the smallest tribes and as large as countries to help them become more entrepreneur open. Mm-hmm. So with countries to help them develop policies, maybe change some of their laws so that it is more encouraging to entrepreneurs, because everybody knows entrepreneurs and startup companies are very risky. So a lot of what we do is training too. I work with a lot of universities and help them develop entrepreneurial information to include in their engineering classes. Okay. Because engineering classes are very, very tactical, very engineering. And I'm trying to add more creativity into the engineering piece of it. We're working actually, we also have a soft landings program. So any small and medium enterprises who are interested in expanding into the US market, we have a program for that. And it is in the university. So it's not really an incubator. It's more of an education program that's online. For companies to help them, and once again, using a lot of these same tools that I was just talking about, help the CEO make the decision to expand into another market. So at the end of the program, it's a 10-week program, at the end of the program, they kind of can go, yes, it's a good idea to expand at this time, or no, it's not. So we have those. We're kind of like the grout in between all the other programs. So we take on challenges that no one else has.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's interesting. And I guess we are doing good on time. So I'm thinking we'll go to the next speaker, listen to Julia as well. And then I think we would have sufficient time for some interaction as well here and taking any questions. Great. And before we move on to the next speaker, I would like to announce something for you, Lynn. So it is my privilege on behalf of Women Economic Forum 2020 to confer on you, Lynn Henkel, the award of Iconic Women Creating a Better World for All.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's an honor.
Now we'll move on to the next topic, which is creative problem solving. And it is with immense pleasure that I welcome our speaker, Julia Paulette Hollenberg, to the platform. And she is an author, a therapist, and a facilitator. She has guided countless clients over 3 decades through sessions, workshops, to deep creativity and confidence for satisfying relationships, meaningful work, and a passionate life. Now, turning the stage over to you, Julia, it's all yours.
Thank you. What a delight to be here with you. Thank you. So years ago, I needed a new home. I was walking down the street when suddenly I had a sense that I needed to go into this specific cafe in order to find a new place to live. It didn't make any kind of logical sense. But I did it. I walked into the cafe and I said to the woman, I'm looking for somewhere to live. And she said, wonderful. I'm looking for a new flatmate. Problems are part of everyday life. There's many every day. We can easily feel overwhelmed, and then we compound it by criticizing ourselves for not operating in a linear masculine way, which makes everything worse, inhibiting our natural feminine practicality. please know you don't need to struggle for hours with a problem to work it out. You already have the feminine gift of creative problem solving. You can access and use it. For a woman, everything is economic. Our tasks are both inside and outside the home. For us, economy means not just money, but managing our precious resource of energy. Women are natural problem solvers. We have to be, we just have to get on with it. And unlike men, who tend to operate from analysis and strategy and focus on a single idea, us women operate from the body, from wholeness, from inclusivity, from devotion, from multitasking, from being in relationship with many people and things and objects and elements at the same time. Women are especially connected to our heart and soul, and that is our real strength. The COVID crisis has shown that women are great leaders. We can creatively synthesize and respond to many different demands at the same time. Being a mother is a credential. Our experiences and skills learnt on this job cannot easily be learnt elsewhere. Women are a great underused resource. The future is female. The Dalai Lama famously said that the world would be saved by Western women. Creative solutions come from welcoming our state of vulnerability and need, our longings and desires, admitting that we don't know and asking for help. Jesus said it as, "Ask and you shall receive." Hafiz, the Sufi poet, said it as, "Every heart will get what it prays for most." And to me, this means holding a question and being open to receiving, answering information, not from mind, but from the web of our relationships with everything else. Sobon Fuson, the female African spiritual teacher, said it as, "Receiving reassures you of abundance." So, the key to creatively solving problems is to slow right down and allow our natural feminine capabilities to come up with a solution. Answers often arrive while we're doing something else, like playing with a child, cooking a meal, washing up, gardening, going for a walk, having a bath. Sometimes while we're watching TV, or even in the stillness of a noisy nightclub. Inspiration strikes us at unexpected times and in unexpected places. I want you to be awake to receiving this important information from your soul directly. Information can arrive as sensation, imagery, or knowing, and it is absolutely worth paying attention to. So, sensation. Women naturally operate from our body. Our center of gravity is much lower than men's. We're located in our belly and our pelvis, and we have easy access to sensation and spirituality. And this is a great gift. Years ago, I stepped out of the way of an unseen falling object because of a sensation in the top of my head. It probably saved my life. All sensation is communication. So now I invite you to close your eyes and take a small journey of discovery into sensation. Feel your feet on the ground and your bottom on the chair. And then notice what you notice. Do you sense pain or nothingness? Maybe a prickle in your skin or tension in your neck. Are you tired or full of beans? Are there butterflies in your tummy or maybe a genital response? What is the sensation in your body right now? What is it telling you? Is there something that you need to do? Imagery. Women are naturally sensitive to visual information. We create beauty in our homes and on our dining tables, in the way that we dress ourselves for our lovers and respond to the beauty in our children. We often need to tidy our space, creating order and beauty before we're able to begin working. Beauty is a transpersonal power, taking us to another realm where answers can be found. Images can appear to us in our nighttime dreams or our daytime daydreaming, maybe on a t-shirt or a van passing by, maybe a musical phrase, an image of a place we've been or we'd like to go to, or a flower or person that's particularly attractive to us. Sometimes an image arises about a particular topic, like maybe our boss, maybe an image of a fly on the surface of water. An image is a dense piece of information. It contains a lot. Rachel Carson, founder of the environmental movement, said, "Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts." The Navajo people honor the power of beauty, and they say it is finished in beauty. So for a moment now, be still and see if an image arises or catches your attention in your imagination or your immediate environment. Does it carry any meaning or significance for you? And knowing. Attuning to our natural receptivity enables us to receive information directly as intuition, impulse, instinctual intelligence, gnosis, whatever you want to call it. It's direct guidance from your soul. A powerful woman is one who just knows. All women have a strong capacity to receive. We are attuned to information coming into us from the earth and community. We feel energy, and through feeling can just know. I often call this capacity knowing without knowing. It provides us with creative solutions. At the end of January, I walked into a social event and somehow knew I was appreciated by someone on the left. I had to look round the room until I saw the man who might appreciate me. We got chatting, couldn't stop, and now he's my boyfriend. And I'm sure that you have a similarly surprising, creative solution story in your life. So when you're next faced with a problem, I encourage you to slow down enough to receive the incoming answering information, however it arises, a sensation, imagery, or knowing, and to be brave enough to take action on it, even if it's not logical. Women are wise. Our creative capacities are optimized by welcoming our femininity. The way that we work is inclusive, devotional, cyclical, spontaneous, dynamic, emotional, receptive, and wonderful. Trust yourself. You can easily and naturally, creatively solve your problems.
That was amazing, Julia. Really enlightening and stirring speech about unlocking the female intuition and basically applying that to creative problem solving, and about tapping into leveraging female energy and recognizing the female aspects to bring into problem solving. And that was really great. Any closing statement, Julia, as a takeaway for that topic? And I think you already covered everything. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm just very quickly going to check if there are any questions for us on the forum. Otherwise, I think we can take questions here, interact. We got some more time. We got like about 15 more minutes, which is wonderful. Just going to quickly go and check on the platform. Are there any? I'm just seeing a lot of comments, very encouraging comments. I think the attendees are very impressed with all the three speeches, and I think they are really left very inspired. I think Nina, Lynn, and Julia, you're on mute. Anyway, before we go on to take questions, I have a special announcement for you, Julia. So it is my privilege on behalf of Women Economic Forum 2020 to confer on you Julia Paulette Hollenberry, the award of Iconic Women Creating a Better World for All. Thank you.
How very, very lovely to be a part of this. Thank you.
And again, thanks Nina, thanks Julia, thanks Lynn for being here today. And it's been an immense pleasure for me to basically have you here on this platform and interact with you, and really a lot of takeaways for me, as well as I'm sure all the attendees, based on all the amazing comments that I'm seeing. And again, we'll open up for questions now. So Nina, Lynn, Julia, if there's anything that you would like to interact or any questions you have for each other.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm just very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
I appreciate being part of a very eclectic panel. Used to doing business and, you know, talking technology and stuff like that. And it's so refreshing to be with other women who, when I don't have to talk business.
And yeah, I felt we were all saying something similar in quite different ways.
Yes.
Which
yes.
is really delightful.
It was almost like you were bringing in all the different dimensions to problem solving, creative problem solving, and about leveraging change towards growth and towards innovation. A lot of takeaways. It was like a power-packed conversation here. Something I think many of us can leverage and take away with this today.
And this is such a wonderful event. Thank you for the organizing of it. It's wonderful. Wonderful to be a part of it.
And coming together on this platform from different parts of the world, that itself is truly great.
Yes.
Yes, that's very
I did want to, sorry, go ahead, Nina.
No, you go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say one more thing, is that based on my experience of 30 plus years being in hard technology, I would like to say to all you ladies out there, you can still be very feminine and still do engineering and finance. I had a hard time with it, but I think we've broken the mold now. So do not give up your femininity to pursue your dreams.
I'd like to second that. I'm an architect and a civil engineer, and yeah, being sort of able to venture into left brain fields has nothing to do with being a man. So yeah, definitely.
And I have a question. This for Julia. When you spoke about the feminine energies, I think this is something that could be applicable to men as well, to basically tap into that feminine side. Do you feel that would help?
Absolutely and definitely. But I'm not sure that men will receive it well if you say to them necessarily to become more feminine. The qualities of becoming more open, more receptive, more intuitive, more connected, absolutely, are for men and for women and for everybody. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So I think women are gifted. Once again, I think it's because of our biology. I think we're gifted with the attention to detail that men do not have. And my husband, he's sleeping, but he would agree with me. I know him well enough. But I think we have a specific attention to detail sometimes. And one of the examples I used early on in my career was once female engineers got into the car manufacturing business. Have you noticed a difference in cars and SUVs than 30 years ago? I mean, they were very stripped down mechanical. Their engines were amazing. The insides were terrible. They were not functional. Once you had, female engineers who knew where the cup holders needed to be and how all the little details of the dashboard. So I think, women are really geared towards detail. So you take engineering and marry it with a woman's detail and you can't beat that, in my opinion.
Oh, great point, great points.
I think that it's more than gender, it's qualities, and the quality of being more in relationship with each other and with everything, which we tend to think of as being a more feminine quality, but this I think is what we all need, is what the world needs, is what will help us all to move forward.
Very pertinent point. And Nina, any thoughts from you, any statement from you to all our attendees out there with respect to your speech? Any quick takeaways? How do we get started with imbibing those 9 qualities, those 9 qualities and the different 11 aspects, and in terms of embracing and leveraging change?
Well, I think it all starts with intention. If you're not afraid of change, but actually embrace it and see it as a natural process. We change every day, and we either change to the better or to the worse. So it's actually, yeah, it's a good thing to embrace change and actually seek it out to level up. Wherever you are at, there's always this next level to go for. But I think that everyone who's here and who's listening is already doing that. So it's a bit sort of preaching to the choir, because just being here, tuning into such an event means that you're open for change and willing to seek new perspectives. And that's what it's all about. And I mean, I know that there's also a lot of gentlemen in the audience, but for all these women also to come together as one from all over the world, I think that's really phenomenal. And just by being together and exchanging ideas, that will change our consciousness. And And so that's a good step in changing the world.
Wonderful, Nina. I'll just read out just some of the comments of appreciation from the audience. There's wonderful tips. Thank you, Nina. And then there's like someone who has said fabulous. They are enjoying all the different speeches. And from Geetanjali, there is like solitude is critical here to reflect, reflect, reflect. Good talk, resonates heavily, awesome. Congratulations, wonderful presentation. So interesting and useful. Innovation is the essence to sustain growth. Entrepreneurs take an idea and make it commercially viable. Maths, wow, someone has to say, so you grab the bull by the horns. Well done, Lynn. The bumpy road, yes, sometimes that works. That holds it all together. Beautifully put, Julia. Excellent thoughts. Exquisite thought processes. Extraordinary way with words and weaving of imagery is exquisite. And all the three speakers have celebrated our potential.
It's such a privilege to be here, really. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Anything to add before we take leave?
Just thank you so much. And also thank you to Dr. Harbin. Really appreciate.
Thanks to Harbin for bringing us all here together
exactly.
today.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you so
I really
much.
enjoyed it. Thank you. I've learned a lot.
Thank you. I loved meeting you ladies, really. It was a privilege to be on a panel with you. So thank you.
I agree. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All the very best. Bye.
All the best to all of us.
Bye. Bye, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.